he's saying he has my address and he's coming to get me. This is probably the worst camera setup ever. But hello, and welcome to my first story time. I'm trying to be like semi-quiet because my mom's downstairs. Basically, this is the story time about my very bad sugar daddy experience. An overview: basically he paid off $3,100 of my credit card debt. That's all of my credit card debt, which most of it wasn't mine because me and my mom share an account. But that happened, and I guess I'll just start from the beginning. Ever since I saw Dr. Phil's episode with this girl who told her dad that she was a sugar baby, I didn't know that those existed. I knew there were sugar daddies, but like I didn't know you could be like a sugar baby. Like you could just like make money by not actually like dating guys or dating old men or like having like relations with them, you know. So I was like, how, like, I wanted to know how to do that. And then I found out there was seeking arrangements. So I tried seeking arrangements, but it was just, like, I was in Atlanta, and it was really bad. Like, all the guys just wanted to have sex. And I was like, I don't want to have sex with old men. Nor did I really want to meet them. I mean, that's how most sugar daddy relationships work. And then I saw, like, one girl do a video on YouTube about how she has been a sugar baby and made like a lot of money, and how most of her relationships were like purely online. So I was like, how do you do that? So then I saw another girl's video about how you do it online, and basically like it's easy to like look up the hashtags and you can find like men who will just like give you money for just talking to them. And so like the hashtags were like, it was just really weird. It was like hashtag pay pigs and hashtag cash slaves. Like, so I looked those up and I started following people who were like, I'll give you like $1,000, like you get an allowance, and all these like sugar daddies like saying that they'd give you money if you like DM them and stuff. Like people saying like, I want to help you with your debt, and yeah. So I followed some people, DM'd them. I made one tweet. I like replied to one tweet saying to someone saying like, if you have credit card debt, like DM me. I just said, I have credit card debt, like help me out or something. I don't know what I said. And so then I was like DMing people, and obviously like they were DMing me back, but there was this one dude who actually followed me, and he DM'd me first saying like, I want to pay off your credit card debt. And I was like, okay. And obviously I'm being skeptical, like I know some people are not going to tell the truth and whatever, but we talked for a little bit. Like I was talking to several other people at the same time. So also, majority of these people didn't want to use like Cash App or PayPal or Venmo, or like some of them were saying like mine got hacked, like it doesn't, or mine doesn't work with third-party apps. And I wish my phone's recording, so I can't look at what he had said. Like I think he might have said that he got hacked or something, and basically he was asking like, if I pay off your credit card debt, like are you still gonna talk to me? Like making sure that I wasn't just gonna take his money and run. And I was like, yeah, because I mean I was serious. Like I actually wasn't gonna, yeah, I wasn't gonna stop talking to him. Like I was gonna continue talking to him, and I was hoping, I don't really know, but basically he asked how much debt I was in. I said, how much did I say? I think I said $500. And then he's like, that's not that much money. I was like, okay, well, I mean, technically it's $3,000, but the other amount is like my mom's, and we share an account. And he was like, okay. And I think I said off the bat, I was like, because I was noticing people nobody wanted to pay me through like Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or whatever. And I said like, I'm not going to give you access to my bank account, my credit card account. Like I'm not going to give you access to my accounts. You can pay me through third-party apps. And he was like going on, basically just like explaining like, I'm not going to do anything bad. Like I have to go into your credit card account like in order to pay it. Like this is just like how it works. He sent a bunch of weird things. And for reference, like a majority of these people I was talking to, they didn't, like, it didn't seem like they spoke English very well. I was like, oh, they must just be old and they just don't text well. Which I'll get into later why I don't think that's the case. But also this dude was like saying how he's like, I'm a man of God and I don't want people of my nation to be in debt. And I was just like, okay. So, but yeah, after I said, I was like, I don't want to give you like access to my credit card account, even though he was like saying that's the only way to do it, and I was gonna give up on that dude at that point. But then he started sending me like proof and whatever, which is what a lot of these guys were doing. Except this one I noticed, he didn't send me that many, but they were all the same name, which the name was not the same as the name in his Twitter, so I was just like, that didn't quite ring a bell yet. Like, I was just like, he probably just doesn't want like his actual name out there, because he doesn't want like people around him to like know that he does this. I might be saying a lot. I'm like so like low energy right now because I'm like sick and I've been sick for like 2 weeks. Anyways, after that I was like, okay, I looked at my credit card account. I was like, there's nothing in here that as long as I delete my bank account, like there's nothing he can like hack. He can't hack me unless he hacked my credit card account and just like stayed there. But there's, other than that, there's like nothing. I guess he could have stolen my credit card number, which I actually don't think he could have done. If he did, like, I could have reported it as fraudulent or whatever. At that point, I went in, I deleted my bank account. Oh, and then he asked for my number, so I gave him my number. We were gonna start texting instead. I've never had a problem with like giving people I don't know well my number, just because it's like, there's not really much you can do with that. I guess you could track my IP address, but you can like do that, I'm pretty sure through like Twitter. Anyways, so yeah, I gave him my number, and so I went in, deleted my bank account. There was one thing in my credit card account that I was like, didn't feel good about. Like, I didn't want him to see, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It had my address in there. And I was like, okay, it has my address, but like, what's he gonna do with my address? Like, he told me he lived in California. Like, he's not gonna come from California to here. And even if he didn't like, I mean, it's easy to find people's address, so it's like not that big of a deal. So I changed the password, and I gave him the password and the username, and he goes in, and after that, then he starts saying something about how after he pays it off, I need to go spend money on myself. Like, it didn't make sense to me. It sounded like he wanted me to go spend $500 on myself, and and then he was gonna go back in, and then he was gonna keep paying off like whatever I spent on the card. And that's just like, I was just like, okay, whatever. And he was saying something, once again, his English, like what he was saying in English made no sense. He was saying something about $2,500 and then $500. I guess maybe what he was trying to say is the $2,500 on gift cards, which I'll get into, and then $500 on myself. So basically spending what he paid off. Like, spending the exact same amount that was already, that he's gonna pay off on my credit card. Which, once again, doesn't make sense. So, also, before he paid it off, he explained that the way it worked is that he had a bunch of money in Bitcoin, which he sent a picture of his Bitcoin account, which all of these pictures he was sending me were super blurry, but that didn't sketch me out. I mean, it kind of sketched me, like, how do I explain it? Like, he cropped some, like, things out. It was just weird how the pictures he sent. I might insert pictures of things that he sent me just for reference. Like, while he's like has access to my account, I'm like constantly going in and like checking to make sure like he doesn't lock me out of the account. And at some point my Touch ID stopped working. I like freaked out. I thought like, he had changed the password. But turns out, I think he ended up, like, using Touch ID on his end, so it wasn't working on my end. I don't know why he would use Touch ID. Either way, so a couple minutes go by, he sends me a screenshot of my account, and it says, like, $0 are owed, like, $3,100 was paid to my account. I did not believe it, so I went into my account. And all of the debt that I had was not there anymore. Like, it was all paid off. Like, I'll send you a screenshot. I was in so much shock. Like, I cannot tell you, like, I've never been in more shock in my life, I don't think. I didn't know how to react. Like, I couldn't even tell anyone because I just did not believe it. Like, that's $3,000 of debt. I was, oh, well, yeah. So that happens, and he immediately starts, he's like, okay, you have to go to the store now. Like, you have to go to the store now and buy gift cards. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he's frantically, like, he's like, go to the store, like, now, you have to go, like, now, and now. And I'm like, first of all, I haven't been feeling well. Like, I've legitimately, like, I've been so weak. I'm, like, basically anemic. Every time I've been walking, like, I've been so dizzy, feeling like I'm gonna pass out all the time, so I was, like, not prepared to go anywhere. And I certainly, like, was not about to go to the store, because he wanted me, he was not explaining it well. Once again, it started off, like, he wanted me to buy, I think, $500 in gift cards, and then it was, like, or no, he made it sound like he just wanted me to spend money on myself, or, like, spend money on the card. And I didn't understand that. I thought it had something to do with Bitcoin, but, no, at first I thought he just wanted me to, like, treat myself. And, then I realized he was like, no, you have to go to the store and you have to buy, like, these gift cards. Like, you have to buy Steam cards and Google Play cards. And I was like, that's really specific, and also, like, why? I was like, what are you talking about? And I think, long story short, I think I'll just have to, like, insert some, like, pictures of the text. And then I told him, I basically came up with a lie, like, my mom saw the account, like, she is freaking out. She doesn't, like, know how, like, someone got into her account and, like, paid off the money. And so then this whole time he's, like, texting me, like, frantically, like, you have to go to the store now. And I was just like, I can't, like, I'm talking to my mom. An hour goes by, he's been, like, texting me this entire time, and I'm ignoring him because I'm pretending like I'm having a conversation with my mom, because if I actually was, like, we'd be talking for a freaking long time. So I basically said, like, she's not letting me leave, and he's, like, asking, like, who owns the account, and it was so much. And so basically, the rest of this day goes, I'm making up excuses, like, I'm spending time with my family, like, I can't go to the store. I did go to the store, and they didn't have the cards that you want me to buy. And, then I eventually said, like, where I live, like, we don't have, like, stores that sell those gift cards. I didn't want to, like, my debt had been paid off, and I was not trying to, like, go and spend more money, because there's no guarantee that he was gonna pay it off again. This entire day I'm giving him excuses, and he continuously, like, gets more threatening, like you have to do this, like, you didn't act this way, like, before I gave you the money. My brother's an FBI agent, you'll be in so much trouble. And I was like, this was your choice to, like, give me the money. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, you can't do anything, because it was your choice to do that. And this whole time I'm with my family. First of all, it was 4th of July, so I was supposed to, like, go with my family, which I was not with my family technically, but I was supposed to be. And he was just, it was ridiculous. Like, he was expecting me to text back, like, immediately, and if I was doing something like that wouldn't be possible. He was just acting crazy, and he started to, like, scare me. I ended up, like, several hours after it happened, I just ended up blocking him. And because I couldn't deal with it anymore. It was stressing me out so bad. And I don't understand how Bitcoin works. Like, I don't know if he said something about interest, and well, okay, before I blocked him, I started, because at that point I had been messaging like some other like sugar daddies, and they had been, what they were doing is, I got like two of the same messages from two people, basically saying, no, first of all, there was one dude that seemed legit, and he was saying like, my bank doesn't work with third party apps. He wanted me to like set up a check. I was like, I'm not giving you access to my credit card account. I'm not giving, because my mom is in it and she would see, and then I was like, I'm not giving you access to my bank account. Like, so I ended up like setting up another account, and I don't because I gave him my Snapchat, and so we had been Snapchatting, and he had been answering like immediately. I don't know where it got to the point where he kind of just stopped like answering that much. But he ended up blocking me on Twitter, so I was like, if he blocked me on Twitter, that probably means like because before he had been saying this like, oh, you're so like special, and like you actually seem genuine, and so I'm gonna show you something I've never showed anyone else. And he showed me like his bank account, something about his like dead wife. Like, what the fuck? The other people I'm messaging, they all are really like similar in like what they have been saying. Like, two dudes sent me a screen, like I sent them my PayPal, and they were like, okay, so you have to like, they took a screenshot of like how much money they were going to send me, like $3,000, like $2,000, and it was like crazy amounts of money. Not like a regular, like what a sugar daddy allowance would be, which is like 500, 300, less than that. And then they were like, you have to go on Amazon and you have to buy like a $50 gift card or $100 gift card, and then that's how then the transaction will go through. Like, it won't go through unless you get these gift cards, which makes absolutely no sense. I was like, no. It was ridiculous. And so then I started like looking at the accounts that had been DMing me, and a majority of them had been either made in July 2019 or June 2019, and I was like, that's sketch. And they were all saying the same thing, so like, what is up? There was another guy that ended up doing the same thing, and they all spoke in the same way that the dude that paid off my debt like was speaking, not like, they didn't sound like they knew English very well, or that it like wasn't their first language, which wouldn't add up with the fact that they like live here, and they were like old white dudes. So back to the other guy, I block him, and I like had a feeling that was not going to be the end of that. So I get a text a few minutes later from another number. Oh, no, I still never said the part about, after he started like freaking me out, I was like, okay, this is weird. And that's when I started realizing the other people like had made their accounts, and then I looked at the screenshots that he sent me, and the screenshot that I looked at in particular was the one that he sent of my debt, that it had been paid. And he said he lived in California. The timestamp, like where I live, was 12:16 when he sent the picture. I looked at his, and it said it was 5:15. So it was like, there was a 5 hour, like he was 5 hours ahead of me, which would be I don't know what the name of the time zone is, like wherever like the European time zone was. And so then I like, actually I never put two and two together about the fact that like what his name was on the screenshots he sent me. I eventually realized that the name on the like statements of him paying stuff off was an Italian name. And so that's when I was like, he is probably not from California. I'm pretty, like, this was, I figured, I think he lives in Italy, was pretending to live in California, like just not who he said he was at all, which makes sense why he wasn't speaking proper English and why his name was Italian, why he was 5 hours ahead of me. And I don't know what he was trying to do with, like, what scam he was trying to do or trying to pull on me, but thankfully I didn't go and buy whatever gift cards he wanted me to get. Also, I think one of the biggest reasons I didn't want to buy the gift cards, like, I think at that point, because he had paid it off, I, like, trusted him, kinda, at the time, but I, like, everyone knows everyone where I live, and I didn't want to go in and buy, like, he wanted me to go to one store and buy $1,000 worth of gift cards and another store and buy $1,500, and they were gonna be so sketched out if I tried to do that. So I, like, didn't want to do that. Also, my mom was gonna see, like, my mom was gonna see, and she would wonder, like, why in the world I spent $2,500 on gift cards. Also, how someone paid off my debt. But it would just be easier if I did not do that. And so yeah, this guy's blocked. A few minutes later, I get a text from another random number, and he's saying that it's this guy's brother who is an FBI agent, and sends me another blurry picture of an FBI badge. He is basically threatening me, like, saying, you stole money and we're gonna find you, and, like, we have your address. Which, keep in mind, the address was the one thing I was concerned about. Like, the one thing that they could find that I didn't think they could do anything with, which now he's saying he has my address and he's coming to get me. He literally said that. I'll insert screenshots, hopefully. And so, along with this, I got a call from another random number. And then at that point, I was like, I'm going back and forth with him. I was like, you are not who you said you were. I also know this is not your brother because you're texting the exact same way. Also, FBI agents are not going to text someone and tell them that they're coming to get you. That's freaking ridiculous. And I said, I'm gonna go to the police, I'm changing my number, and then I blocked him. And so, yeah, then I'm getting calls, and then I got another text. Let me think, how did this go? So since I said I was gonna change my number, I ended up going into my voicemail and I looked up, like, the disconnected, like, this number has been disconnected on YouTube, and I made that my voicemail. And then I got a text. And so I sent, like, an error message as the text back. And then after that, I got another call. I sent it to voicemail. And because I think the voicemail said, like, this number is disconnected, I didn't get a call after that. Although, fast forward to yesterday, I think, I wake up to texts saying that it was some random dude, Sergeant blah blah blah, saying that City had called them. I still am positive it was the same dude. And so, yeah, I got a text from another person saying that, like, you're gonna be, anyway, so yeah, he texts, and I played along with the idea that I had changed my number. And so I text back, like, I have no idea who this person is, like, I just got a new number, like, I was some kid who had just gotten a new phone. And, like, because I just wanted him to leave me alone. I wasn't, like, about to say, I mean, I wanted to fight back and be like, this is ridiculous. Like, he was trying to say that my balance is going, or my debt is going to double. I semi-understand what he was trying to say, but that doesn't work with credit cards. Like, that just does not happen. Either way, I could have fought that at the fraudulent whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to insert screenshots because I can't explain it very well. And so, yeah, I'm playing along, saying that my name is Rachel, and I'm gonna tell my parents. And then I said, this is Rachel's parents, like, if you don't leave them alone, we're going to the police. And that's basically the end. That's all that's happened so far. That was yesterday. He said in 2 to 3 days, my debt's gonna double. So I guess we'll see, because I don't know much about how this works. I haven't told my mom yet. I don't know how she hasn't figured it out. And I'm really scared for when she does, because I don't know how I'll explain it to her. But so yeah, the whole thing with this was right after it happened, like after the threatening text from that dude, like I have your address, like that's when it got really freaked out. Like I have felt, I mean, now I'm feeling better. I don't think he's actually going to do anything, hopefully, but like the texts I've been getting are just like so threatening and scary. So I've been on edge, and I really don't think they're gonna do anything, but it is pretty scary. That's why I was gonna go to the police, but if I went to the police, then I'd have to tell my mom, and I'm just hoping that this is just all gonna blow over and go away, hopefully. But if not, I might just need to change my number. So, yeah. I'm still alive. I haven't died yet. Yeah. So, that was my story about the sugar daddy who has my address and is threatening me. And the story is probably not over, and if more happens, I will make a part 2. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to like and subscribe. I think I'm going to be doing more story times. The reason I didn't want to do story times before is just because I'm not very organized and I have a really bad memory. And I'm too lazy to take notes to look at. But this was like fresh in my mind. So here it is, and hopefully I'll insert pictures of stuff to make it easier, because I know I didn't explain it very well. However, so yeah. See you later. Bye.